Hey Clashers, a lot of people say Queen Charge Hybrid is dead on Town Hall 15. I say Queen Charge Hybrid is completely fine. And in this video I will show you how to attack box bases, ring bases, or just diamond shaped bases. Like all of the different approaches, I will show that in this video. Well, this is the exact army we are going to use today. And a huge shout out goes to Kronos, because Kronos is right now pushing with Queen Charge Hybrid. He has already tested it around with like what are the do's and what are the don'ts while using this strategy. And I thought I would just ask him if he could share a couple of his attacks and we can learn from him, because he is round about at 6k trophies, getting around about 280 on offense right now, which is for a Town Hall 15 incredible. Like 280 on offense is really great. So let's take a look at the first base, and we're starting things off with the box base, okay? On box bases, he says he's most of the time not charging the Town Hall. The Town Hall just deals too much damage to the Queen, and the big, most important thing is why so many people are struggling with Queen Charge Hybrid on Town Hall 15 is you have to understand the interactions between what is good and what is worse maybe on Town Hall 15 compared to Town Hall 14. From Town Hall 14 to Town Hall 15, the Queen Charge got way weaker, but the Hybrid on its own got way better. So, with that in mind, we want to keep the Queen Charge as short as possible. We're starting with the Hybrid as early as possible. On this base, all he does is lure out the Clan Castle, find a nice spot where he can Queen Charge without a lot of damage on his Queen, and then the next thing, the third step, is pretty much starting as soon as this defensive Clan Castle is down with his King already for the funnel. So, Lava Hound is down, he's making sure the funnel for the Queen is set, and he's, as soon as that is done, he is then starting already at the top side with wall breaks and getting his King in place for the funneling. This is really important. You do not want to charge the entire base as on Town Hall 14. You just want to have an as good funnel as possible. And you can see already, the Queen has barely crossed the first wall of this base, and he's already starting with the Hybrid. The next really important and interesting thing is he likes to use the siege barracks. And all of those attacks you will see today, he is using the siege barracks. The reason for that is that he needs to get the funnel created on the king side as quickly as possible. Because the Hybrid is getting started so early, you need to make sure the Hybrid is having a solid pathing, because the Queen is having less power, which means her pathing is not as good as before. So the new siege is nice, but I feel like for this one and how he is playing it, the siege barrack is just giving you a better and faster funnel overall. And then you might say, well, it's with the Town Hall on the back end, this is going to be tricky. Well, a lot of those times you have a rage at least, you have like 1 to 2 freezes as well for the back end. And not only that, in most of those cases you have your hero still alive, which is giving you an incredible power boost. And this is the secret. Support your Hybrid more, put more resources into the Hybrid and less into the Queen. On Town Hall 14 you would have invested 3 rages for the Queen, 2 freezes, and even the invisibility spell. On Town Hall 15 you should do that in a different fashion on most of those bases, and that was displayed perfectly on this attack. But that was just a box base, okay? We want to take a look at more different styles of bases, but what he says for box bases is he's pretty much always charging the other side of the Town Hall, as he did over here, finding a nice and easy way for the Queen, and then just starting with the Hybrid from the other side. As soon as you have figured that out and tried a bit around, you will be not getting really a lot of 1 stars, like that is really not happening that often. But we should now take a look at another style, which is this diamond / iTzu style base. Over there he says there is 2 main options. One, the Town Hall charge, which he's doing in this one if there's not too much damage and you can start with the Hybrid early. And then the second option is on the Town Hall 4 side. On the Town Hall 4 side on this base though is the Monolith. And that's most of the time the defense you try to avoid with your Queen, because the Monolith is just so bad versus Hybrid, well, it's just so good versus your Queen. So the choice is kind of obvious. On this one, he's intentionally not wall breaking into the Town Hall compartment. The reason being is with that he's avoiding the Town Hall poison, which is an insane important thing. At the same time, it's taking him so many rages early on, but the important thing on this part is you need to make sure that you're taking damage away from your Queen. As soon as the Town Hall is going down, he's trying to take that damage away from the Queen with starting early with his Hybrid. You can see one of the expos already switched away from the Queen, and instead is now locked onto the Hybrid. So he's not even waiting until the Clan Castle is lured, he just does not care. It's all about taking damage away of your Queen, and then just the funneling again with the siege barracks and pushing everything in. The important thing though here, and that might be the upsetting thing about this strategy right now, is that you need those new pets. This strategy, Queen Charge Hybrid, is relying so much on the new level and the new features you got in Town Hall 15. So for example, Diggy is just super broke on the Royal Champion in a Queen Charge Hybrid. The Lizard is insanely broken on the Warden in a Queen Charge Hybrid. And then you have even Frosty, which you can really nicely use on the King. And I mean, well, the new healing spell and the new minor spell, or like the new minor spell, yeah. The new minor level is giving you a huge boost as well. On this one, on the back end, well, there's the Monolith, and even though it's not as good versus hybrid troops, it's still pretty decent overall, and you can really mess up your attack on the back end. For him though, he has the Queen ability left, Royal Champion is slowly approaching that, and Frosty is non-stop slowing the Monolith down, so the attack speed is just pretty much non-existent. And another 3-star for Kronos. So, by now you can already identify Queen Charge Hybrid is far from being dead. It just needs a different approach. While with with Town Hall 14, the Queen Charge was your main tool for the attack, the hybrid part on Town Hall 15 just got so much stronger that this needs to be your main concentration when it comes down to spells, support overall. On this one, this ring base, he's having a different approach, okay? So what he says on ring bases, this is by far the hardest type of base to attack with hybrid. At the same time though, this is kind of the same thing with any strategy on Legends. Some bases are naturally kind of annoying for your strategy to attack with. Yet you have still pretty good chances of 3-starring. On this one, even though this is ring base, he is creating a funnel now with the Blim. And yes, he's using Hog Riders, but still, he doesn't care. He's just raging those Hog Riders up and getting both Inferno Towers. But the important thing over here is, sometimes if you see like a really annoying ring base, the same thing for me if I use like Blizzard and find a base which like is using a ton of Poison Towers, well, sometimes you have to be fine with like trying to aim for 80 to 90% 2-stars. At the same time though, you can always try to make it as optimal that your chances for 3-stars are as high as possible. So what he's doing over here, trying to charge the Town Hall, because it does not have that much damage in the core. Which is, I know, not that often, but still, on this base it's possible. He's redirecting now the Queen, making sure that she's really going inside with that invisibility spell. There we go. Nicely done. And this means his Queen is going to step inside. There's another rage. And this means, again, as soon as he knows his Queen is fine for now, he's starting with the hybrid. Do not wait for the hybrid. Yes, time fails can happen, but the most important thing is just the power and spreading the damage, okay? On this one, for example, if he would wait too long, he would have had the Monolith at some point, maybe Expos locking onto his Queen, and this would be not good for your Queen. Instead, he's starting early with the hybrid and having a huge push at this bottom side. And take a look at how strong and broken the hybrid power on its own is. You have the Warden ability on like 20 million miners and Hog Riders. You have still like the Siege Barracks Hogs, most of the time later joining. In this case, you use the Blim. So you have just so much power to go through the hybrid power, especially with heal, maybe even rage, or even 3 spells which you have left over from your Queen. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I think Queen Charge Hybrid is still a really solid strategy, even in Legends. You just need to make sure that you're starting your hybrid way earlier and maybe giving less time for your Queen to work around important things. This is the most important thing with Queen Charge Hybrid nowadays on Town Hall 15. So I feel like this is an important lesson, by the way, as well for everyone out there who are saying, iTzu, my strategy is not working anymore. Maybe you need to redefine your strategy with trying to play it a little bit different. You can use the same army, like this strategy, the Queen Charge Hybrid, he's using the same spells, he's using the same troops. Yes, he's using 20 more troop space, but instead of that, he's not adding anything fancy in there. And, well, yet you can play it that way, with just making the Queen Charge a little shorter and the hybrid part a little bit more powerful when it comes down to the spells which he's invested over there. So this is the big secret. Huge shout out to Kronos again for sharing all of those attacks. Really appreciate that, and I hope that you have maybe a different opinion now about Queen Charge Hybrid. If you want to follow Kronos, feel free to go for the link down below in the description with the Twitter. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.